Okay. What's our title today? What is this thing called affirmative prayer? Well, before we get started, I want to share with you that there was a sign on a Nebraska high school building. It says, in the event of a tornado, the Supreme Court ruling against prayer in school will be temporarily suspended.
Well, all I can say about that is that we started state testing this past week at school, and as long as there are tests in schools, there will be prayer.
That's for sure.
It might not be from the students, but it's definitely there from the teachers.
Well, I know you have a really good story to share about school.
As we go into affirmative prayer, one of the things that best for me kind of shows what is this thing called affirmative prayer is just an example. So this year, and I've shared this if you've listened to me talk, this year has not been the easiest year for me. And it's not the first time I've had a group of challenging students, but for some reason this year I've been in this funk, kind of stuck. I mean, I'm listening to Tony's meditation, and that struggle, that issue, that problem was this, like, I'm not sure what's wrong. I feel like this cloud overhead where nothing is enjoyable in my day, and I'm doing different things, and I'm trying to change things in my surroundings, doing all this different stuff, and I'm like, I'm not praying. So I just come and I pray for clarity. And as soon as I start to pray just for clarity, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm even praying for at this point. And I get this nudging. Every day I type in a password to my computer, and it's like 28 characters long, so the students can't hack my computer.
And this is 7th grade?
Yes.
Right? 7th graders.
And we have to do this, and we have to change it quite often. And towards the end of this, I'm realizing I have my room number 105 forever. And somehow my brain has really gotten this vibe of this bad feeling that I'm having in room 105 forever. And I'm typing this into my computer about 20 times a day.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this has got to change. And I didn't know how, but I just said, well, at least I know, like within the next 6 to 7 years, if maybe not sooner, I'll at least retire. That's all I could think of. So I changed the forever to for now, exclamation point.
So read it. So it says now room
105.
Room 105.
For now.
For now.
Exclamation point. And I continued to just pray for clarity because I didn't know what I wanted. Well, a week later, a teacher walks by in the hallway. She's a 6th grade teacher and says, have you thought at all about coming to 6th grade? Jane's retiring. And I'm like, it's just more work. No. And the teacher is next to me. She's saying, Sandy, wait, haven't you said that something's going on with you all year? Like maybe a change would be good for you. Maybe 6th graders would enjoy your style of teaching so much more and all the little novel fun things that you like to do because they're a grade lower and they love that kind of thing. And I said, yes, I'll be moving to a whole different room. I can't make this up, right? I didn't know what I needed. God did, and it came a week later in the form of, I'm moving to a totally different room. Who knows what that's going to say, but I'm so excited that I'll get to do different things with different kids and serve them just like I've served all these kids with a little bit of vitality and energy that's different and new.
I can't even imagine what you bring to those 7th graders. I cannot ever see a child being bored in her class, because she so integrates herself in everything she does. So, look out, 6th grade. Oh, yeah, kills,
I'm excited.
Right?
I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So what about that is affirmative prayer, Kathy?
What about that story is affirmative prayer?
Because that's our title. What is this affirmative
because
prayer
what
thing?
were you affirming before you turned it over? You were affirming you were stuck in room forever, room 105 forever. And once you changed your affirmation to 105 for now, the universe, God, pays attention to our vibration. Can you imagine? I don't know this for sure, but I can just imagine. 20 times a day, Sandy has to go, I'm stuck in room 5 forever. Right? Now she's typing room 105 for now. Do you see her whole face change when she was telling you the story? The universe, God, operates on vibration, energy. And when we shift our energy, as Ron Wills has taught so many of us about changing our vocabulary for I have to I get to, changes our vibration. And that's affirmative prayer.
It's not a fake it till you make it kind of thing.
No.
Not at all. It has to change within ourselves. Can you show that first slide? This is a surprise for Kathy.
Oh.
Don't fake it till you make it. Faith it till you feel it.
Oh, I love it.
Faith it till you feel it. That, to me, is affirmative prayer. It's not just a couple minutes of affirming something. It's affirming it. That's why they say, it says in the Bible, how often should I pray? 70 times 7. That just means until we can feel that it's true. So in affirmative prayer, we're not asking, we're not beseeching. It's not based on the idea that there's a God out there that we can change or something out there that we can change. It's based on the idea that God is in us. And our job is to remember that God is in us. God is in you. And if God is in you, then any possible attribute of God is constantly available to you. And if you can resonate and be on the vibrational level with that strength or wisdom or clarity or love that is part of God in you, then you have the faith to feel it, then you can show it in the world. That is affirmative prayer.
That is huge, Sandy. I mean, oh my gosh. Tony, I saw you take a picture of that. Will you send that to my phone, please? Because that, in the Daily Word, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, but that what Sandy just said, the Daily Word was talking about claiming the divinity in you. You are a divine being. Prayer doesn't change out there. What does prayer change? Me. Prayer changes me. When I pray, I am claiming mine and your divinity. Anybody ever prayed with me, you know, and prayed with our chaplains, they're claiming you're divine, you are divine, just the way you are. And it talked about the struggles in the Daily Word. And what is it? How do we shift that? How do we shift that? Not about faking it till you make it, but faith it till you feel it. I love that. That's a good surprise, Sandy. Thank you.
I thought you would like that.
So, what have we got here? So, we're talking about affirmative prayer. So, what would you say is affirmative prayer to you?
Affirmative prayer to me is about getting quiet and going within and knowing my divinity, then knowing that all things are possible. And if all things are possible, then I can claim it by speaking it. So not everybody speaks it. I do, and even my affirmation on my desk every day some way. So affirmative prayer is finding it, coming into alignment with it, and then acting as if it is so. So that to me, affirmative prayer encompasses not just the fourth principle, which says I pray it. It encompasses all 5 of the unity principles. Yes. Because first, I have to know that God is everywhere present, and I have to know that God is in me, and then I have to align my thoughts to the God thought. So instead of saying I'm weak and I can't change the situation, it'll never be the way I want it to be, instead I align with I have power, I have strength, I have love and clarity, I have constant spiritual guidance. I can align with those thoughts.
That's principle number 3. I think it.
But just thinking it isn't enough, because the prayer then is the feeling. So 4, I pray it, is the feeling it in every cell of my being. And then 5th is living it out. So I'm going to go and affirm it, and I'm going to see it. I'm going to act as if, like I'm going to change my password. I'm going to say for now, because I know this is changing. I've already done it. So that affirmative prayer covers all 5 of the unity principles, not just 4, to me.
I love it. Love it. I hope you're getting a sense. There's been a running theme here going. Have you caught it? Since the beginning opening prayer and the meditation and the daily word is all about affirming, right? It is not about beseeching. And most of you, I think, understand that. It is not about asking and pleading. It is about knowing that you are a divine being because that Christ is within you. And therefore, you have, because of God is, I am. And if I am that, as Sandy just explained, she just ran through the 5 principles really, really, like, awesome way.
And just as in my example, I didn't ask God to change my situation, to change my kids, or to change anything. I was doing a really good job trying to change all that stuff on my own, and it wasn't working. So instead, I asked for me to change. I asked for me to see it differently, to see it rightly, to have clarity so that I could have guidance. At that point, I couldn't even accept guidance because I was so foggy. Like I said, I felt like that cloud overhead. I couldn't, so I asked for clarity and to be able to see, to have spiritual vision, which is always available to all of us with our divine attributes, our divine identity.
Well, let me tell you about somebody who was questioning their spiritual vision. This is a great time of the year when I love to talk about the story of Lazarus and when Lazarus died, okay? And you remember, everybody was beside themselves. Jesus was not in town, and Lazarus is Jesus' best friend, and they're all beside himself. Lazarus is sick. We've got to tell Jesus Lazarus is dying. And when they get to Jesus to tell him, your friend is dying, what does Jesus do? I gotta go. No, he waits. He says, thank you for letting me know. Now I got to continue about my Father's business. He waits. Was it 3 days, 4 days? I don't even remember. Was it 3? 3 days. And finally he gets there. And Martha and Mary, this is not Mary, the mother of Jesus. This is Mary, Martha's sister. We talked about those 2 last week. And they're like, you're too late. Lazarus has died. When Jesus says, take him to me. And he goes to Lazarus in the grave, in the grave site, wherever they had him laid. And he said, unloose the bandages. Lazarus, get up. Ye of little faith. Now, this is a beautiful miracle story. But metaphysically, it goes deeper. And it goes deeper into the panic. And I don't know if it's panic, whatever we would use that word for Sandy, typing in room 105 forever, right? We put bandages around us, just like Lazarus' body.
And we have a picture of that, I think. We have a picture of
there.
Lazarus walking.
There we go. So we put those bandages around us. We lose sight. He says to open your eyes, get up. And this is what affirmative prayer is. It is about loosen those bandages. Open your eyes. See the truth of who you are, and you will be healed. However that healing truly looks. Now, that means we always get to live forever, does it? No. And so, well, is that divine order? Well, apparently so, otherwise it wouldn't be happening. But I'm telling you that this is us. This is a story about us and buying into fear. And people nowadays, there's an awful lot of people running around fear-based with bandages around them, closing their eyes and not realizing the power they have through affirmative prayer. There's a 6-step process that I found I love my old traditional book of the Quest. And I looked at it yesterday.
If you
and
can go
I
to the next
saw
slide.
these. Yeah, next one there, Kath. Thank you. Okay, so step 1. This is guidelines to help you pray affirmatively. Now, this just comes out of the book, The Quest. This is not Unity's 5-step prayer process. It's in addition to this. So it's pray believing God's will is being done. Jesus did not see Lazarus as sick. He saw him whole. Is that not how you chaplains pray? You see that person requesting prayer as whole. Step 2, become your prayer. This is our principle number 3. Thoughts in mind, what? Produce after their kind. The action and the work to take action and work to make your life congruent with your praying. I'm praying to be healthier. What am I doing to be healthier? I'm still eating the chips, I'm still eating the sugar, but by God, I'm praying to be healthy, right? That's what that's saying. Step 3, look up. This was Lazarus, right? Get up. Lift your eyes, see above our human consciousness. A situation cannot be solved at the level of the problem from which it was created. See it from a higher perspective. This is when you are enmeshed in it, or when you've gotten hooked by a Facebook post or a news post. Rise above it. See yourself on a magic carpet and rising above that situation. And you will see how minuscule it really is when you really rise above it. Step 4, give thanks. We always talk about this, and it's again in the 5-step prayer process of unity. Giving thanks, being grateful for what you do have. Step 5 is speak the word, calling it forth. Sandy called it forth by typing it on her computer, okay? And then step 6, release. Let it go. As we said last week, forget about it. Let it go. Sandy, I know you have another story that you want to share similar to this, but I think we have something else we're going to do.
Yeah, we have a little game to play with you.
Oh,
I play this with my kids.
Asleep. It's game time.
It's called Thumbs Up. And so I'm going to say a statement. And if you believe that it is an affirmative statement, then you're going to put your thumbs up. If you don't believe it's an affirmative way to pray, an affirmative statement, you're going to put your thumbs down. So it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not affirmative. Mm-hmm. So thumbs up for affirmative and thumbs down for not affirmative. The first one, divine wisdom guides my every decision. Second one, I'm just a poor, weak person. I really need prayer. Okay. All right, I made them easy at first. Some of these are going to be easy. All right, but you got the idea now. Okay. So, God, are you listening? Are you listening to me? Is anybody up there hearing me? I release and I trust the unfoldment. The light of truth dissolves my fear. God, I hope you have time for this, but I really understand if you don't have time. Have you ever been there?
Yes.
You have such other things to do in the world. They're much more important than me. I'm strong and capable and supported in spirit always. If you help me out this time, I promise I'll be better the next time.
Okay.
You're only laughing because you said it before, right? When you were little. No more. I'll never have another chocolate bar again. God, you can only do this for me. Healing is already happening in me now. Love leads me, and I open with a joyful heart. I release and trust that God is my source and all is well. I'll try not to mess it up this time. I promise. Just give me one more chance. All right, I think they got the hang of it.
I think we can all relate to those thumbs down ones that we've done since childhood, right? Oh, goodness.
So Kathy mentioned the 5-step prayer practice, and there's actually a story because the Bible teaches through story. There's a story in the Bible not long after the Lazarus story that teaches this prayer process. You might have heard it, never realized that that's what it was. It's a story of a guy named Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus is a really well-known guy in town. He's probably one of the richest men in town. And he's also not the most honest person. And he's also really short. Like, can't see over the crowd short. And Jesus is coming to visit.
I can relate.
So Jesus is coming through town, and the streets are packed. And everybody wants to get a glimpse. And Zacchaeus, for the first time in his life, is so passionate and excited about seeing someone and getting to see Jesus and wants to make a change in his life, but he's got a problem. He can't see anything because he's so short. So he goes to a tree and he climbs the tallest tree. It's a sycamore tree, and he goes out onto a branch so he's above all of the noise of what's going on to get to a higher place. And the wildest thing happens. In that crowd, out of everyone in that crowd, Jesus looks up and tells Zacchaeus, "Come down. I'm coming to your house today, Zacchaeus." And so Zacchaeus comes down, and he's like joyful and bewildered, like, "Oh my gosh, he's coming to my house." And he's like, "Wait, what? What's going on here? My house?" And when he gets there, he says, "You know what?" He just has this transformation. "I know I've done some not so good things, and so I'm going to give half of everything I own away to the poor, and I'm going to make amends to everyone I ever cheated out of money fourfold. And this is a different day for me. I'm turning over a new leaf." And Jesus says these words, I'm going to interpret metaphysically in a minute. "Today salvation has come to this house, Zacchaeus." So Zacchaeus got this not because he was a perfect guy at all, but because he followed the prayer process in this story for something new. And this is kind of how it goes. So if you want to go ahead and put that next slide up there as I kind of talk through this. Relaxation is usually our first step, and Zacchaeus shows this by letting go of the outside world. He climbed up to a tree to a higher place to get away from the noise, our thoughts, all of that chitter-chatter going on in there, to rise above. He got to the highest physical place he could, above the circumstance. And in the second part, he concentrated. So concentration is usually focusing on the God within, going to that place of love and peace in our heart. For him, he was fixing his eyes on Jesus literally in the story to symbolize how he's focusing on the Christ within. And then notice during the meditation part is he listened. So during meditation, so we've relaxed, we're concentrating on that spot with God within, and then what does Zacchaeus do? He just receives. He doesn't yell out, "Hey, Jesus, me over here." He just waits. He's receptive. He's open to, he doesn't know what's going to happen next. He has no idea that Jesus isn't even going to speak to him. So we just wait in the silence. We're receptive and willing. And then in the next stage, when he actually is open and willing and allows Jesus into his house, and the house is symbolic of our consciousness, so he's taken on a spiritual consciousness by allowing him in the house. We respond with word and action, and Zacchaeus does this immediately by saying, "You know what? I'm different from this day forward. I'm giving half of everything I have now and that I ever get to people who need it, and I'm not going to do that again, and in fact, I'm going to pay back those people fourfold for what I did to make amends." So right away, he affirms his new lease on life. And then he does this also joyfully and gratefully in celebration. And so that's the Thanksgiving step. So after we've made that realization and we've affirmed what that newness is in our life, we have thanksgiving and we see that it is so. He doesn't say, well, I'll try to go back and make amends to the people, but you know what? They might not even want to see me. He doesn't do that. He's like, I'm going to do it. He affirmed it, and then he gratefully and joyfully celebrates the fact that this is the new way that it's going to be. The 5-step prayer practice, all in that one story.
Isn't that great? Did you see how many people took a picture of that slide? That says a lot, because this is really simplifying with the use of metaphysically interpreting a story in the Bible, which is a roadmap.
And the greatest part of this is you don't have to remember these 5 steps. You just need to remember the story, right? You get to the high place in spiritual consciousness where we're above the chitter-chatter. We become open and receptive to the message from Spirit that's there waiting for us. And then we affirm that we know is true. And we live that out from that moment forward. So you might not remember any of these steps, right? But you're going to remember that story. Zacchaeus climbed the tree. He got to the high place. He waited. He was open and receptive to Jesus. And it's just like we're supposed to be open and receptive to Spirit. And then he affirms and he acts immediately with that affirmation.
Oh, I love it.
That's why there's stories in the Bible. That's why they did that.
It's a roadmap on how to do life. And so,
are we ready for the affirmation?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yes,
and then the affirmation is kind of focused on this. So let's go to the affirmation, which is next, and we'll say this together. Oh, wait, could you just go ahead and skip that one? Sorry. Yep. Let's say it with me now. All that I seek is already within me. I speak the word of truth, and it is done. Just like Zacchaeus, right? Just like Zacchaeus. He got to that high space, and he realized at first he was looking for something else out there, like Jesus walking up there. When he realized it was really inside of him, what he was looking for metaphysically is really within him. It's the Christ consciousness, the Spirit in him. And he spoke the words right away. This is what I'm doing right now.
Let's say this 2 more times together. All that I seek is already within me.
I
speak the word of truth, and it is done. Let's say it like we mean it. All that I seek is already within me. I speak the word of truth, and it is done. It is done. Namaste, Sandy.
Namaste, Kathy.
That Christ of truth within me truly sees and honors that Christ of truth within you. Namaste.
Namaste.
And to all of you, namaste.